Hey, I found him. Hello? Do we have a problem? Oh. You better stop staring at me, Saxon pig. Damn pig. Oh, okay. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. The Assassin's Creed which is not really an Assassin's Creed game, but does that make the game bad? From Ubisoft in 2020, right off the back from the series' change in gameplay, with Origins and Odyssey came this game. Valhalla is a huge open world game, where you play as a Viking set in Norway, England, Finland, Ireland, France, and Asgard, where you raid, pillage, loot and conquer. Notice how I didn't say anything to do about the Creed? Yeah, so the game at its time got a lot of flack for being more of a Viking game than an Assassin's Creed game, so a lot of people decided not to play it and hate on it, which is completely justified, fair enough. But what would you say if I think that Assassin's Creed is a great game? Because I believe so, only if you tackle the game with a different perspective, that you are playing a Viking game and not an Assassin's Creed game. Think Ragnar Lothbrok instead of Altair ibn Lahad. If they got rid of that Assassin's Creed IP, then I'm sure this game would have got a lot less slack. So buckle in, let's get into the story. We start off as a baby Eivor. You meet your family and your king. Your pa decides to sing. To sound the mighty I think. And as everyone is chilling, the city hall is being attacked by Kjotve the Cruel. And you know he's cruel because, well, fucking look at him. Your father, mother and brother dip to fight, as you are specifically told not to go anywhere. What does Eivor do anyway? Yeah. You meet your mother battling out with some of Kjotve's men, and Eivor gets his first kill, let's go! But everyone's getting overwhelmed, so Kjotve, the kind man he is, offers your father for his life and for the safety of his clan. His father says, "Why yes, of course!" What did you expect? Mother is distraught and then also gets mech'd. And now Eivor is next, but your brother saves your ass. They escape until... they don't, and Eivor dies. No. Eivor survives somehow, and now he is a slave. Man, this guy can't have a break. Enslaved by the man himself, Kjotve. Eivor gets seduced and then fights back the other men out of pure angst for Kjotve. Eivor needs to find his men. Blah blah blah, you escape. You find your main city hall and you free all your men. And then your brother comes over and says, "Yo, my slime, let's go to England, my brother." Eivor goes, "Okay." Now you're in England. Eivor and his clan make a little base in England. But now they've got no friends in this vast world. So your entire goal for the main story is to help around different areas of England, get allies to help you. That is the main goal. Each area works in arcs. So they all have their little storylines, and sometimes they mend into each other. Sometimes they're just completely random. But yeah, that's basically it. In my opinion, the story was okay. It had its dips, and it had its moments where I absolutely slugged the way through it, and I couldn't be bothered, and I couldn't wait for it to finish. But there was some decent moments of the entire story where I actually enjoyed it. Particularly the Sigurd arc, that was cool. I like Soma and Vili and Ivar with all the Ragnarsson brothers. But yeah, the story's a bit meh, nothing extravagant. Valhalla adopts an RPG combat style, where numbers and loot drops are the name of the game. Stamina bar, special moves that use a special bar, variety of weapon types, upgrades and stat buffs. R1 with a light attack, R2 for a heavy, L2 for a special. The enemies have a stun bar, and if that depletes by hitting or parrying them, then you can obliterate them with a stun attack, usually one-shotting them, or at least doing a lot of damage. You can dodge as well with additional skills, slowing down time, extra damage after a perfect dodge. It's just simple, usual RPG combat. However, here's where it gets spiced up a bit. Upgrades. With an entire tree based on combat, which include heavy dual wielding, charge attacks, damage buffs, etc, etc. There's also 2 other skill trees that buff stealth and bow usage. This lets you flesh out your fighting style with skill points, in which there are a lot. Additionally, you will find new skills around the world in these books that you usually have to put a bit of effort in, and by the end of the game you have a lot to your disposal. I personally, for the most part, enjoyed the combat. It was very crunchy and flexible with a lot of different things I could do. There's loads of different builds that you can go with. Fire, poison, there's also stun, or different weapon types, or mixing different weapons of dual wielding, like a hammer and a great axe. Enemies are usually mostly easy, even on Drenga difficulty. There are a decent amount of enemy variety, especially with the DLCs. Enemy scale will level. Easy, normal, hard, and lethal. This is based off your level and areas that they are native to. If you go fight a guy who's lethal, you're probably going to get absolutely two-shotted and you do no damage. Bows are also very fun with sliding slow-mo, multi-shot arrows, smoke arrows, etc. Headshots always feel good. And the most important part, I felt like a ruthless Viking tearing apart opponents with brute strength. Being said, brute force is definitely the ideal way of entry, which leads on to the icon of Assassin's Creed. And while it's not Valhalla's strong suit, in fact I could probably make a challenge video beating Assassin's Creed Valhalla using stealth only. You can sneak around, hide, climb, whistle, use smoke with the DLC, bows and assassinations. Speaking of, I don't think Eivor understands the purpose of a hidden blade because he just wallops the shit out of these poor Saxons. By the way, Basim just gives this raging Scandi the hidden blade, which is sacred for the Creed because he can, I guess. The stealth is quite slow and the enemy spotting can be a bit volatile at times. They either snap onto your location or they don't see you from 3 centimeters away. When you assassinate the guy, the animations are very slow and chopped, so it gives a big chance for another enemy to spot you and engage in combat. You can do a chained assassination, which can nullify this, but it's still a bit of a risk. Climbing is excruciatingly slow, as Eivor is a Viking and not a trained assassin. You can use a cloak to hide from people during trespassing. You still got your hay bales, etc., but all in all, the stealth is possible and viable. However, it is obviously combat that Ubisoft want you to use. It's slow, a bit janky, and sometimes borderline bullshit, but now and again I have been able to deal damage to a base or completely pacify them using stealth. It's not ideal, nor is it very good, but it works. Just enough for it not to be redundant. Quickly, I like the look and the feel of the menus. The weapon and armor menu is beautiful, the map is massive with a lot of icons, but it's concisive enough and it works. The light blue that's used everywhere is a lovely touch that gives it a feel. In game you have damage numbers, health, stamina, specials, compass, and objectives. Personally, I hate damage numbers, so I turn that off, but mostly it's not too overwhelming and is set out nicely, with many options to remove every single little aspect to suit you. The world is absolutely stunning. If there's anything Ubisoft can do 100% of the time, it's make a spectacular world. England's a vibrant grassland with old structures lying around, vast castles. Norway's a magnificent, snowy, mountainous landscape with wide fjords. France is brutal and dark. Ireland is majestical and wondrous, and Vinland is mysterious and primal. The world is a wonder to explore, mixed with the music which is spectacular. It is one of the best things about this game, visually wise. Exploration is a lot. It's a huge map, and a lot of the time it's a lot of horse riding or just fast travelling to get to a point. Not a lot in between until you get to the objective, or one of the blotches of side content. But even after getting that, there is still a very open sense to everything. Like, no matter what you do, there is always still something. You've beaten the main story, but now you can hunt down all the orders of the ancient members, or you could hunt down the legendary beasts, or you could find the lost Drenga. Eivor isn't exactly the most charismatic soul of the franchise. He's a tad tone deaf, but the best way to play him, in my opinion, is have him to be an absolute menace. I felt the most out of his performance when he was pressing people and telling them to fuck off. There were some decent moments throughout the story. Eivor's alright in my book, but he's nothing to write home about. Basim is a bit deadpan, but his influence on Sigurd is good stuff. Sigurd is pretty decent. I liked his arc as he spirals into a sanity and deceit. Basim leads Sigurd blindly, leading him into lies, like telling him he's a god and all this bollocks. Overall, there aren't really many characters that stick out, except Dag. I remember disliking him as a character, as he was intended. Mostly I played on hard or Drenga. I'm not an amazing gamer whatsoever, but the difficulty in this game is just not that hard. Unless you're going against an over-leveled enemy, you won't have much trouble. It's mostly how much damage they do. I'm grouping DLC, but I'm mainly talking about the Wrath of the Druids or the Ireland DLC, since I've not got the Ragnarok one and I've not finished the Siege of Paris yet. Wrath of the Druids, to me, I really love the map of Ireland. It was so beautiful. As I said before, it's a mystical, wonderful place that hides nice little secrets. You've got all these druid enemies, you got this big wolf dickhead, and the storyline does take a bit of a weird magical turn, but if it's based off anything we've just seen, then I guess you should have seen that coming. I really like the Ireland DLC. I would recommend it. I did get it on sale. It does go on quite often. I got it with a season pass, I think, for a £15. I would recommend it. I can't speak on Siege of Paris or Dawn of Ragnarok. Right, time for my conclusion of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It is an absolutely horrible Assassin's Creed game. However, it is one of the best Viking games out there. If you want to play as a Viking, this is your game. It's a very good game. Obviously, it's got its problems, it's highly bloated, and there's so much stuff to do that is not realistically to do for most people who have stuff to do in real life or want to play other games. Especially the side content, it's pretty much the same over and over again. There's like, I think nearly 1,000, probably more collectibles just to do, and it gets really repetitive doing some of this stuff. The story drags on for a while as well. It does have some good moments, but a lot of the time it is straight up doing chore works and being an errand boy for some English Donny. The combat, however, I really like. It gives you a lot of choice and there's a lot of things to play around with. It's very crunchy, it's fluid enough. I like the feedback that you get from it. I think the feedback is better than Odyssey and Origins, where the melee combat sometimes feel a bit glidey and it's like slicing through someone like butter. But with the use of parrying, it is very easy. Like, most of the time you're not going to have a problem with fighting enemies. So the world is fantastic. It is a beautiful world, one of the nicest ones I've seen of England in video games, and Norway and all the other maps. Stealth is also a big problem in this game. Obviously, as you've heard everyone say, it's very, very slow and sometimes just pointless. Like, it feels more of a slog to do stealth than just running in and killing people. Archery is fun, it's really good. Headshots are beautiful as well. There's a lot to do with them because of your skills and stuff. And yeah, but again, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is one of the best Viking games ever made. There isn't that many, to be honest. I genuinely thought there was more, but there's not. If you want to play an Assassin's Creed game, you will not like Valhalla. But if you go into it wanting to play as a Viking, killing people, just smashing through people like they're nothing, you'll enjoy this game a lot. I have so many hours in this game because it's so vast, and this is only my second playthrough and I've got that amount of hours. But anyway, what is my final rating for Assassin's Creed Valhalla? Drum roll, please. I'm giving Assassin's Creed Valhalla a 7.9 out of 10. For my reasons indicating that if you go into this with a different perspective, you will enjoy it more. As wrong as it is them calling this an Assassin's Creed game, please do not go into it expecting one. If you made it this far, comment Drenge so I know who the real ones are. And yeah, thank you very much, mate, for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. See you later.